What's up, everybody, and welcome to another MAXD Esports live stream. This is your host, Mateen, also known as The Boss. And you know what? We're bringing to you PMDL, another day for you, another amazing session. But the most important thing, as you can see in front of me right now, the caster, the one and only, the international, the superstar, I would say, of casters right now, Imperium is here with us. And let me just bring him on live for you guys as well. And I want to just give a big shout out. Welcome, Imperium.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here, to be casting with yourself and to be casting the PMDL, to be able to, and you know, I've said before, I'll say it again, to be able to get a glimpse into the present and the future of Pakistan PUBG Mobile Esports. It is genuine an honor, and seriously, I'm so looking forward to these 4 games, and I can't wait to see what kind of action is going to unfold.
You know, it is going to be an amazing action. First thing is that I'm so sure that everybody has been waiting. You know, your presence here introduces a next level of esports. This is the first time that an international caster is coming live onto, like, you know, you could say not an official, but a private scene, which is going to help the esports scene to get the recognition. The second thing, though, another amazing thing is we have Team Bablu playing with us. The team that has pulled off 5 chicken dinners in a row, back-to-back, non-stop. And to us, that's the first time that's happened in Pakistan esports scene. I don't know how you feel about that, but...
Well, the thing is, can they be stopped, right? Can they be stopped? And you know, there's no better time for the teams to step up to the plate in tonight's 4 games and to, you know, take Bablu down. They're going to have some of a target on their back in the sense of they're going to be looked at in the kill feed and go, okay, oh, they're here. There's an extra awareness on how they might be rotating throughout these 4 games. You do have the addition of some absolutely top-notch, top-tip teams that are in this lobby, like R3D as an example, TG. Really looking forward to seeing a lot of these teams come through. And it is about, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, right? And at the moment, Bablu have set themselves up as being the best, so they're going to have to be knocked down if you want to get back up there.
Definitely, the words that you said, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you got to go toe-to-toe with them to prove that, right?
Yep.
So, Bablu, you know, you're right, they set the bar real high, and there's going to be probably a lot of teams gunning for that spot, because we know it's competitive, so everything goes for that, you know, and it's the rightful... I would say it's the right of every team to go for that top spot by going after these guys in a fair way, of course. But, you know, it's just awesome. There's a lot of amazing teams here. And, you know, Bablu, for the past some time, you know, we've seen them on the mainstream. I would say they were the first ones that we saw go international being mentioned, you know. And they sort of, like, you know, got a little relaxed, but now they just came back with some changes that they made in their lineup, in their game style, in the predictions that they're doing. You know, their IGL Teen Wolf just plays amazing in terms of his prediction of the zones, you know. But definitely, you're right, we're gonna see what the other teams are gonna bring to the table today. And you know, as you can see, the match has started, but obviously we're gonna wait till the map comes up, and then we're gonna go into it, the action. But Imperium, you know, I hope that you're gonna love the gameplay of the Pakistani teams.
Oh, I'm going to be looking out. I'm going to be watching very, very carefully, because as much as I support all of these teams, part of that support, part of that kind of, you know, part of that really getting behind them is having a look analytically at how they play their rotations, the engagements. And if I see something that I personally, from my experience, kind of go, ooh, I don't think that should be the case, I'm going to point it out. But I'm also going to be open-eyed to going, oh, whoa, that's big brain play coming out from this team. That's fantastic rotation coming out from that team. Honestly, I'm so looking forward to seeing what these teams can do. And what better way to start the 4 games as well, by going onto the hollow grounds of Wrangle, right? The map that we all know, that we all love.
That we all love. I say this is the birthplace of every team. I would say Wrangle is the birthplace of every team.
Yep.
And I hope that I can keep up with you today. But here's the map in front of you, and go ahead and take the honors with the plane road, Imperium.
Yeah, so obviously that plane path is a little bit to the west. It's going to be a bit painful if you do like to go around the Milta farm train. It might require you possibly dropping onto Military Island, grabbing a vehicle on that kind of northerly main road, then moving across the eastern bridge to get to the Milta farm, Milta power areas. Because I think that's a little bit of a wiser choice than trying to go into that main road that's just to the south of Pachinki. Otherwise, it's very easy for the teams that like to go to North George, South George, Gaka, and you can see TG, they're going right out of bat to Primorsk, which is really healthy for them, right? Because not only are they going to be the first to land, they're going to be the first to loot, which in theory should make them the first to rotate into these circles.
Definitely, like you said, it's gonna be very easy for Bablu because Georgia Pool Apartments is where they generally always go.
Yep.
So they're gonna be able to land there quickly as well as compared to somebody that's gonna be looking to get to Milta Power or maybe wants to go to military base,
Yep.
or even I've seen so much so that teams go out of the zone to Novo and rotate back from there because they somehow have that, they're so used to it or they've made it so much. But, the one thing I would like to see is R3D has an introduction of R3D Virus in their lineup, who has been very, very aggressive player. I've seen him in PMPL, some of the matches, right? So as with the circle has come up, and definitely, yeah, it went up a little bit towards the north. Let's just go to the main screen and see what's happening over there.
It's a pretty solid phase 1 circle. It's quite centralized across the map. It's a little bit up north, but you can already see that there's a hell of a lot of space either side of this central area, right? You see R3D there in Rozhok in the heart of this phase 1 circle. You can see team number 12, that is North Esports there in School Apartments split. And what the teams do need to realize, most notably the teams that are either on Military Island or Team 17, as an example, UMB, NOFEAR, is that there's way less of a chance that teams will have gone to the eastern side of the map around mansion shelter areas. So that rotation on the kind of Yasnaya fields will be really important for those teams who utilize into this phase 1, as well as the fact that the north side of the river is also going to be a generally strong area to hold down on this phase 1.
Definitely, like you said, my favorite place to always loot is Rozhok, and that's where R3D decided to go. And Crypto, the player that plays for Flex, the guy who pulled off the clutches in the last one and seems to be doing really well for his team, was part of UNV before, I believe. So, we're going to see what type of more talent is going to come out of that. Maybe that would be great to see as well, right? And, a lot of teams, like you said, these teams are trying to prove their might and they're trying to prove their worth of to be in the main leagues with the elites. And that's what we're going to notice today.
Looking at the side of Team 16 EGP, they went to Yasnaya. They have it all to themselves, but that rotation out of Yasnaya is going to be pretty important for the early part of the game because they don't want to stay in Yasnaya, but they can utilize I call it the tadpole area of the river, which is the very kind of tadpole looking spot above Yasnaya because it's high ground. It gives you clean access to either side of the river depending on the phase 2 circle shift, and you're able to get a lot of information. So I recommend that that they should definitely look to go there.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? It would be interesting whether if the team from Rozhok, R3D, ends up going towards the hill of Rozhok and looks out towards the school to maybe engage with somebody as they come in, or whether they all are going to rotate towards their east side and see if they meet up somewhere near, sometimes when they're crossing the river, the little bit of a stream, a river that we see. It's not the major one, but obviously it definitely gives a tough time to a lot of the teams that come in. Let's take a look at Bablu, what they're doing and just enjoying their loot.
I was
up
just
in
thinking that.
So,
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So this is basically like a Golgappa. His previous name used to be Finisher, and I nicknamed him the Clutch Master because the man used to pull off so many clutches in all the teams that he's been. And he's a recent addition to Bablu as well, and I think a great one at that.
Absolutely no doubt. How strong that they've been performing in the PMDL does speak for itself. Their disengagement away from George Paul is going to be very easy. It's a little bit similar to of course EGP and the Yasnaya on the opposite end of the circle, because they'll be able to. What I'd recommend is go to that compound that's just by the river. It's I call it somewhat the golden compound, because a little bit similar to Yasnaya, it gives a strong entry point either side of the river, and you're able to get a decent bit of information on around the ruins area, the Everest terrain. So that's where I recommend Bablu look to send at least 3 of the players, and then have one player in the hills to either the north or the south side of the river, able to get more information and spread their wings a little bit, because we all know that in the world of PUBG Mobile Esports, my dude, information is power.
Definitely. And as we see right now, R3D has started to rotate. 2 of their players at least have started to rotate slightly. And we see the
Makes
team
sense.
NES coming out from the school side, and they're also rotating. And we want to see whether they're going to end up, like I said, as they move a little bit towards the east, whether they're going to get taken up into a battle, or are they going to just slowly just make their way outside and just have that main fight in the second or the third or the fourth circle, you know?
For sure, for sure. Very interesting to notice that Team 25 No Way Out went for a pretty strong rotational drop spot to Kameshki, which they would have been looting up fairly late into phase 1 shifting through, but because it's around the stall bar area, because of the fact that the playing path was more in the west, they are ultra confident that they're playing to their strengths of their normal drop spot, which means their rotational path line from their normal drop spot is able to be executed in the right way, and with the freedom of going around stall bar, it'll be happy days for them. They just have to be, of course, a little bit aware of the fact that they could, in phase 2, possibly phase 3, come into a bit of a fight with EGP.
Definitely, like you said, you know, it could be a bit easier for them to rotate into the first circle than move in. As we see, you know, the algorithm that I see right now in the news circles is that it seems to shrinks at the same spot for the first few ones, and I've seen that from some of the other casters that came and recommended. But I see definitely NES now coming in right strong, and there seems to be a bit of a battle that just might ensue. And I'm trying to find out. There you have it now. Rafe over here is inside this house waiting, and Shaw, R3D Virus, R3D Joker, they are all outside just scouring, trying to figure out where the team is.
Shaw has to be careful. He needs to hold it down. Joker as well. It is going to be a clean 2v2 for the first part of this fight, but the cavalry is arriving as Maxi makes his way forward. A lovely grenade by Joker, but Joker is inside the house on his own. Raphael does indeed knock down Sean. It's a good start. A very good start against R3D, but it's going to be clapped back as Joker jumps out the building and gets a knockdown onto Maxi.
That's right, and Jokers get taken down by NES, but Ahmed is down as well, and now this is going to be R3D Virus with Bassett come in, and they're just going to try to push on Amin, who's upstairs, and Rafe downstairs, but they have decided to give that rev to Joker first, make it a little bit of stronger army. Maxi is still looking for that rev, but Rafe and Amin are sort of holding off, trying to put those grenades and trying to smoke up, trying to block their sight right now. It would have been smart, maybe, if Amin had gone to rev up Maxi, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I also, as Bassett does get a knockdown on the Rafi, I don't agree with them going for the revive on the Joker. I believe that they should have gone for the push, because they had the momentum of getting that knock and the initial kill onto the player of NAS, that they should have pushed on forward into the building. The revive comes through onto Maxi. They're going to disengage away as a duo, looking pretty good. R3D, though, they have the body advantage. They have the clear way through. Joker is trying to flank around. He's going to reposition onto the side of the building. This is a little bit now of a stalemate between these two teams as Maxi gets a knock on the Joker.
That's right. Maxi just sent in that one nade, and that one nade that connected right now. Amin sending forward a smoke, trying to block off their direction. Rafe still looking for that, that rev on the balcony right now. But a Virus now is over here. Let's take a look. Virus going for the spray towards Maxi behind the stone cover. He has the sight. The nade is getting cooked from both sides and is gonna happen right now. Maxi sends forward the nade. Virus is gonna get the damage. No, but he has clear sight on Maxi. He's gonna wait it out. He's gonna go for the spray right now. Maxi is gonna get taken down with 2 HP from Virus.
Well, where's Naman in all of this? Where's Naman? Where's the push, Maxi? Don't go for the push if your teammate isn't going to support you. And if your teammate isn't going to support you, why aren't you supporting him, Naman? Why aren't you supporting him? Maxi done a great job at that point. He got the knockdown. He should have capitalized it, but now he's left in a 1v3. The push comes through. Although a knockdown is going to ensue, Joker's going to wrap around. The squad wipe is taken down, and even though he does at least grab a point, and R3D are down to 2 players, that was a massively missed opportunity from NAS that they really could have done so much more with it. But the lack of teamwork, the lack of synergy, that shined through the most in that team fight.
Definitely, like you said, you know, even though R3D lost 2 players, but I believe the NES could have done a lot more. Like
Definitely.
you said, you know, they had the chances to do it. MRK still waiting out, and look, they're now looking out towards the team. As R3D moves out of that area, MRK will have that advantage to maybe do some damage, which they started to do already, a little bit of damage, and they got a little back, but Arif now, he's just holding off. He's trying to still look out with that clear spray towards Virus and gave them that damage.
Yeah, of course, R3D in the flurry of an engagement with NES, which, to be fair, they were lucky that they didn't get third party a little bit earlier, or they didn't get third party to the point of being squad wiped. They are gonna have more teams around them because of that engagement time, right? You do have the side of MRK around them. You also have Team 15, which is VGL around them. So for now, all they need to do is just wait, hold it out, and see where phase 3 goes. Looking on the north side of the river, which does have the predominancy of that phase 2, I really love the position onto the hills over shooting range of Team 25 No Way Out. It's a little bit risky, but I think they're at the very tippity top of the shooting range mountain, so it's probably one of the safest places to be overall in this hillside.
Definitely right now it looks like NWO No Way Out is gonna be engaging right now. Butter over here with the choice of names. He's gonna take down Weekend, who seems to be not enjoying his weekend right now. And the push seems to happen. They look like they're gonna go for the slam, which they are. And yes, sir, they have come up right here. They have the 1 person down. The advantage is there, but it's a 3v3 type of push right now. And definitely the tables could turn depending on how they perform right here.
Kankar could do something with that. He can slow down, but a beautiful nade from Jigsaw. Oh, that was a 3-pointer. Gordon Ramsay would be beautifully happy with how that grenade was cooked on board. And now Team 18, MGS, they're down to 2. They are on the hillside advantage, but I have to say, NWO, very aggressive, very to the point, straight on, not wasting any time on their engagements. And this is looking so good for them. I've no doubt that they will be able to deal with MGS quite effectively in any kind of engagement, as MGS are going to disengage away.
That's right, they are disengaging away. We saw a little bit of action from Bablu's camp over there, but I think they did that 1 kill that took from a team, but after that the whole team was quite farther away, so they just enjoyed that 1 kill. They're gonna go for that extra loot. It seems like Golgappa is trying to get, by the way, you know what Golgappa means? It means a big round. It's a big round food in our it's a crispy donut type of food that we eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so his name, and suits him as well, because he is like that. I've seen him personally, just like myself, so that would be it.
Wow.
But definitely,
wow.
We are gonna see that engagement, like you said, between you know, EGPL and you know, they already has taken a casualty right now. Razor is down.
Yeah, Razor is down. Looking down on towards EGP. They have to try and go for that revive if they can. However, they also can't play scared. They need to try and fire back. They need to slow down VGL's shots there. Slow down there. I wouldn't say a push, but the risk of getting pushed upon by VGL. There's a lot of tree lines in the way of EGL, plus a potential third party from another team across the way is definitely going to hurt. But the next phase does shift on up, and a shift on over to the northeast, my friend, the tadpole area that I'd recommend for I believe it was a team 16 at the time. That's right. To overtake is going to be pretty important. And it's EGP now. They're not in a bad spot, but the north of the river is very, very open for the majority of these teams.
Definitely. And look at the circle shifting more towards the northeastern side again. And, you know, it just seems to be going there. But look at the amount of teams that are shifting through, that are coming together on the cards. If we just go over there, if you look at NWO, they got 2 people also rotating in their vehicles, and they just have to simply switch the cars, the seat, and maybe go for the spray. We see over here, NWO saw him now trying to get out of the car. He's trying to look out, but by that time, the teams have gone and taken cover inside some compounds, holding off, waiting for other teams to rotate so they can just pick them off one by one.
And that's something that needs to be improved upon with a good few of these teams, right? It's only phase 3. I'm all for rotating early, but they have to be intelligent rotations, right? They have to be, you know, well sought out rotations. There's no need for desperate rotation at this early stage of the game. If you go in wild, if you go in without information, there's a much higher chance you're going to get caught out. And that's what we've seen from a number of these teams in this phase 3.
Definitely, we've seen that with a number of teams from this phase 3, that they're rotating, and now MAXD seems to be rotating in. They're gonna actually end up running in unless they divert themselves, which it seems like that they are planning to. I guess they don't want to take a fight head on. They're gonna just divert themselves, go on for a holding position most likely, and try to find like maybe a higher angle of a squad. But if you look at TG right here, Imperium, you know, TG there, this is a new lineup as well, with Samurai, Shapata, and Sinu coming into the lineup right there.
Yeah, let's hope they don't pull off a Samu back in the yard. It's not something I definitely want to see across these games from that team. But hey, when you have a player like Shapatar on your side, definitely something to be careful of when you're the opposing teams. And they have a good spot inside this phase 3. Yeah, MRK are a little bit down towards the southeastern side of or southwestern side of their location. But other than that, TG are looking pretty healthy right now. I actually really liked the rotation from MAXD, by the way, from Max, because they played more on the kind of northwestern edge, and then they went down center when they got a relevant amount of information. It was a really well played rotation from MAXD.
Definitely. You know, if you look at right now, though, TG is just going to hold off behind this compound. I guess they're going to wait it out a little bit to see if MRK makes a mistake to come out in the open. We see a little bit of a sniping going on by Destroyer Esports here. And yes, the Han over here now just you know, refueling his buggy, trying to move over here, getting ready for that movement when it does come. And Husney is down right now, looking for the rev with Myth, still going for the spray. It's Team EGP, trying to engage them from both sides. If you see that little split that's happening, that there's 2 players split on the left side of them, and another 2 players on the more of the eastern side, you know.
Oh, look at that circle shift though. What a bait. What a debate. A hard shift to the west. It's still on the northern river, but that is why you do not commit to a city unless you absolutely have to. Destroyer, you low-key put all your eggs in one basket, and now you're gonna have to find a way for your eggs to be shoved out of there as you enter into the circle and try and look to plant those eggs for chicken dinner inside on the eastern edge. There's a little bit of space, but it's definitely not gonna be easy.
Definitely. Bablu coming in for that push now, slamming into the houses with the vehicles. The whole squad right here is going for the push on UNB. They took 2 people down, and right now they're gonna go for this push on the 2 guys right here.
Perfect.
The nades going inside right now. There are still 2 people behind. They are also knocked out, so they don't need to worry. But the nades coming in now. Let's take a look at this guy's going in.
Oh, nice grenade being cooked up inside the circle of the building. I'd much more recommend a Molotov or 2 would be far more clever. Galkabad, there you go. I'll say it right eventually. He gets knocked down, but the remaining 3 players of Bablu off the back of knocking down one of the 2 remaining UMB players. It's going to leave 1 left in his own. He gets cleaned up. He gets taken, and Bablu will pick up the team fight, and they will keep themselves up as a 4-man team.
That's right. They're gonna just give that ref to Golgappa and also hold on to the compound right at the edge of the zone. They have plenty of time to decide which way they're gonna rotate. Virus, if you look at it, he's trying to, I think, go for the survival. He's the only one left, so he's just hiding down at the edge behind those rocks by the waterway. Whether he's just going and enjoying the water or the beach area, or you know what he wants to do. But definitely, if you look at the map, like you said, the extreme shift back to the other side through a little conundrum, or a monkey wrench to say in the plans of a lot of teams. But the ones that didn't move that fast, like you said, that didn't overcommit, have a chance now to come back in.
It's actually a pretty good circle shift above everything, to be fair, because there's a lot of playable areas, even though it's flat to kind of the eastern side of the road there on the circle. It's still playable across the board with a couple of shacks. You can see right now this side of yes, they're inside the shack, and they're trying to deal with a team that's pushing, grenades being cooked up, and knockdown comes through, and that's a good start for the side of Team 14.
That's right. Team number 16, Team EGP, it was following them in. Right at the edge of the zone is where they're going to start their battle. EGP insane right now, getting the damage. Bablu, if you look in the background, they're also getting the damage. R3D Virus is the one giving that damage to them in the kill feed right now. But this is going to be Hasni and Rafe, along with Khan coming in now. They are the ones that need to protect. And if you look at Oni now, with Khan, it's going to be a 1v1. He's taken down now. The team definitely in trouble. That's a third party on them, and that is going to be a handicap for Destroyer Esports right here.
But I don't get why Cam rotated there, right? They had a good 2-2 split. They could have played off the back of that 2-2 split, but instead Cam rotated. In my opinion, too late at that moment where they should have been focusing on EGD, and now they're left as a 3-man team. They can commit less to a flank, and one of their players gets knocked, and it's all going horribly wrong for Destroyer Esports.
That's right. Now Myth is down, Rafa is there. They're gonna just have to send forward these nades, which is EGP is gonna do. They're gonna try to take advantage of them being outside over there between the cars, and definitely the damages are coming in. A couple more nades at the right spot is just gonna seal the nail in there, and that's what it's gonna be. But like you said, they had a good thing going, and they let it go.
Oh, well, you know what? Let it go, let it go, let's be one with the wind and stars, as Hasni is going to clap back, but this time onto Team Bablu, no less. So they're definitely keeping their wits about them. They're definitely being aware of what's going on. Let's be fair, Destroyer Esports may not be in the best of positions, but at least they have the circle, as the last player of R3D is doing exactly what he can to hold on inside the circle. He's taken on Team Bablu.
He's taken on Team Bablu by himself, took 2 of them down, blew up the car, the circle, the blue giving him some of the damage, the little bit of, this is going to be a little bit tricky. He's going to take those kills and confirm them. He's not going to leave a chance out. He's going to get in the car.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, my
really?
goodness.
Really?
There you
desperate times call for desperate measures, my friend.
Definitely they do. But if you look at now, Max, we also have 2 people down. Rahi Asad down. Hacker, the only one now. Prone over here behind the buggy. Gonna smoke up his way, trying to see if he can go for the revs and maybe just try to survive and maybe bring them back and recompose their team, which may or may not happen, because there's so many teams that have the hill cover over here.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get to revive unless 1 or 2 of them can actually crawl to the last player of MAXD. All the while, we see the fight breaking out, and that's going to be Destroyer Esports being taken out by Team Bablu, who are inside the circle with a little bit of help from I-72.
That's right, I-72 over here giving that third party. Like you said, the third party, the fourth party. I've seen that happen. All types of parties are coming in at the last moment when you have the circle shift that's short and you got 7 teams still there with 17 people alive. Bablu Zibian, if you look at him right now, he is just surviving by himself. And no, not for long, because Tough just came in and King gave him a hard time and just took him out.
Let's just say it was a little bit tough for the side of Team Bablu as they come in on the backside, and it's a nice squad wipe across the board. MRK are leaving a little bit too late to push in where they're taking the brunt of the blue zone. MS, man, okay, I see what you're doing, Team 11. I see what you're doing. 47, desperate times once again, calling for desperate measure, but you full send it deep in. You're not in the next circle, but they're still alive. Well, one player left alive and a sliver of health, but he has a couple of first aids that he can play around with.
And there's only three teams left. From the 7, it's down to 3 now. All have fallen except for the ones that had the good spots, the edge of the zones. But definitely right now, MS47, Minerva, he's gonna have to come in. He's outside the edge of the zone right now. 45 seconds, he's gonna have to move. Seems like Tough has got the best of everything right now. They got the compound, they got the broken wall, they got the cars, they're inside the zone. They just need to be patient and just pick them off like they started with Qasim.
And all Minerva is wanting to do is to allow those players to get whittled down one by one, hoping that there's another placement position on board for himself and his team. He's going to stay hunkered down. He's going to leave it as late as possible to move into the circle. Indeed, it looks like it's a clean, crisp chicken dinner being cooked up for the side of Tough, as they benefited from pushing in onto Bablu at the right time. The last remaining players of Team Bablu to overtake this beautiful compound in the end circles of game number 1. What an action-packed game we've had so far. What an action-packed set of plays that we've seen across this first game. And Tough, they want to close it out. They're already on 7. Will they be able to end this chicken dinner with a total of 9?
Definitely. I think that Mahi is going to try to go for the heal battle. I don't know how effective that's going to be with knowing that the circle's still there. And Minerva is the one that's going to get the brunt of the tough nades or smokes or whatever type of utility they have. They just got to throw everything they got at Minerva right now and make him just come out because he still got the edge. You know, he still has the edge. I can't believe it. That he still got another 35 seconds to be patient and, you know, just trying to make some room for himself.
Perfect. They know exactly where he is. King flanks around, gets the kill, gets a blow, gets the squad wipe, and gets the chicken dinner for TUF.
That's right, the chicken dinner for TUF, the 8-kill chicken dinner that they took was amazing. I think the thing that gave them the advantage, like you said, was the compound that they held for, you know, that they took from Bablu, Zibian, and just took it over, and that was the best spot. But, you know, I gotta give it to you again. Look at what I was saying, how Bablu seems to just find themselves in the right spot and the prediction of their zone. That the compound was what they were holding before. Even though they lost their lives, some of their people were taken down by R3D virus, but this is the compound that they were focusing on. And they, again, if they were alive, they would have held on to, again, you know, that main compound in the middle of everything proper.
Yeah, but that's where, you know, at the end of the day, Tough didn't have, I don't think they have had all the information pushing in onto that compound, right? They didn't have full information on on how many players were inside those buildings. They just knew that they had to push in, and having the wherewithal, having the cojones, having the aggression required to push in, that is so important. So that's why, like, outside of the circle going towards them, Tough massively deserved that chicken dinner because they took the bull by the horns and they pushed in onto Bablu and they got the deserved squad wipe, which led to the chicken dinner.
That's true, but you know, I gotta give credit to R3D virus, man. He came in, and I really honestly thought that the guy would just be chilling there and he's gonna be one of those, all right, he's gonna come out, get taken out, and end. But, you know, he survived, took 2 of them down, really handicapped them. And then the unfortunate situation that he got into the burning car, that was just like, you know, I don't know how well that would have gone. But at that time, he did whatever under pressure he could have done. I guess that's what it was, you know. But definitely that was amazing.
For sure.
You know, we're going to take a little bit of a break, Imperium, and we'll come back in just about a few minutes time so that we and you both can have some breathing room and, you know, give our throats a little bit of a bit of a rest as well. So we'll be back in just a few moments to everybody. So don't go anywhere. Stay here because Imperium's going to be back with us again for the next few matches that are remaining. Thank you very much, guys. We'll be right back with you guys. right, Imperium, welcome back, and you're on full screen right now, so I hope you don't mind, and that's what it is. But how did you enjoy the last match?
That first game was absolutely popping. I thought the rotations from a good few of these teams were pretty healthy. I made note of the kind of phase 3 wild rotations from a few teams on the western side of the circle.
Yeah.
MAXD impressed me on their rotation more on the edge, and then they did come down when they felt it was comfortable.
Yeah.
I liked how it worked out for Bablu and TUF, especially Destroyer committing too early to Yasnaya. Come on, don't allow yourself to get you baited like that in the future. But other than that, a lot of positives I saw in that first game, and I'm looking forward to even more in game 2. Because Sanhok, right, it's a bigger beast. It's a much bigger beast.
It's a much bigger beast, and the next beast is Sanhok, which is just about to come up live on our screen, and there we have it. Again, back over to you, Imperium, with the route, because nobody can do it better.
Well, look, Sanhok, when it comes to playing path, it's pretty spot on. Like, there's nothing too much to talk about, because Sanhok being such a small map, you can generally get to where you want to. I am curious to see how many of these teams look to utilize the eastern side of Sanhok, because one thing that I've noticed across multiple tournaments is that the eastern side of the map tends to be underutilized. It seems like we do have 2 teams initially dropping around Camp Bravo. Is that actually an actual Camp Bravo battle between MRK and TUF? Okay, Poggers in the chat for that one. And then you do have MAXD are going to Camp Hong, which is pretty fair. So Camp Bravo battle, it may be poor man's boot camp, but it could be a winning man's battle between these 2 teams.
I love that reference, the poor man's boot camp.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
But definitely, yeah, the teams have landed, and there are some early fights we might just see between some people sharing the same drops. And like in Painan, we see that the circle is there. It's generally covering the whole area. So a lot of teams are in there. Destroyer Esports could go against R3D. And let's just move on to the first battle, which will be the poor man's boot camp. I would like that to be the first one to go to. So let's go to that.
So, the good thing about an area like Camp Bravo, to be fair, it is accessible to generally loot up as 2 teams without going near each other. But the shades of what boot camp or what Camp Bravo is that you want to battle, you want to fight. It does seem like MRK are looking to back away from this, which I can respect. And then TUF, the winners of game number 1 in Orango, they're also going to be happy because it gives them the ability to loot up the rest of Camp Bravo. So I would say that was very intelligent from MRK, like very, very intelligent.
That's right, but we see a battle happening between I-72 and UNB, or UNB and let's go to UNB right here. Yeah, definitely a battle between UNB that took place. They took 2 kills right now, and we see 4HL Oni right there. Bablu on the other side. They have 2 different teams attacking them from each side. They're sandwiched in.
Yeah, both of these teams, UMB and I-72, they both kind of split drop around this area, and I believe I-72 kind of react a little bit better than UMB in the sense of looking to engage onto their opponents. However, I-72, you can see that they lost 2 players, so they are threading with a bit of caution around this area. Bablu, not afraid to move away from Painan off the back of hearing those shots and going, oh, maybe we can pick up a little bit of a cheeky third party. That's what Sanhok is known for. And it's much the same with MS47 side, as they, of course, looking around this area, which is encapsulated by UMB and I-72.
Yeah, definitely. And then, Destroyer Esports is going to be the next team that you see has another shared sort of area over here. This is going to be R3D versus Destroyer Esports. Both very strong teams. We've seen a lot of aggression from R3D in the last one, and we saw Virus just going really berserk with that part. So we definitely want to see what's going to happen over here. Definitely, there's about 3 battles that we could be looking at taking place. So it might be hard to keep up, but we'll try our best to make it happen.
Oh my, he playing up on the edge of the boot camp hill. He's on his own. He's on the edge side. Now there is a little bit of a cheeky red zone, which could be putting the sweats onto the side of 47. But other than that, they have that body advantage. They have the full squad up, and Mahi is going to have to definitely be very, very careful with only a vector in his hand to do something with. He's staying quiet, staying hunkered down, and will possibly move away from the potential engagement as 47 has seen his body move from one rock to another, and they'll look to take advantage of that fear, take advantage of that, and push down the hill even further and possibly find the body of Mahi.
That's right, they might just find the body of Mahi, and I believe there's another person trying to engage. Oni might be engaging from down below over here, as you can see with that weapon. But actually, he's engaged with UNB. They really are in a messy situation right now because look, they have one team on the other side engaging with them. The other team is M47 engaging with them from the top side, which it seems to be like nothing is going in their favor right now at all.
No, I've loved the flank that's come out from the 47 players. On a side note, as possibly looking at a Oni, you get dropped to your knees, Hassan. Afraid to push in now. Murtaza gonna possibly be called out. He doesn't see Mahi behind the other side of the rock, but being supported by his teammate, I know that that's gonna be a matter of when rather than if I-72 are taken out of this lobby.
And there you have Nexi just going for the elimination, the easy one right now. There's 4 of them and 1 of him, and it's not going to be possible for him to pull off that clutch here. It's not going to be that easy.
And EGP were also in their own little battle as well, losing 2 players early on against NES, who lost their own player themselves. TUF kind of third-partying that a little bit, so that's pretty healthy stuff from TUS. So 3 areas around this, 3 teams, should I say, well, make that 4 teams, as TG are also hanging around in this ban area. And if you want to count MRK, hey, sure, why not, to make it a bit spicy? That's a 5th team, my man. That's a 5th team all around this small area that is not too heavily into the circle, but it's in a good spot.
Definitely, the long range fights can take place here. Definitely, a knock and a finish is difficult, but a knock is definitely there, which can allow them to push. But the lack of vehicles is gonna be the setting factor that it takes away from it. But definite knocks to keep on pushing them, to keep on keeping them down and force down is something that will help a team here if they can have that happen. But like you said, around ban, we see 5 teams looking to go for the rotation. Nobody knows which way they want to move at the moment. And that either Destroyer Esports along with R3D is probably going to be a fight, or it's going to be one of these, which it seems to be, again, MRK, the one going with the tap-tap action right now.
For sure. I also love the position of TG on a side note, on a 2-2 split, although just as I say that Chapatar does get knocked down, is looking to also get confirmed up, but not quite. Might be able to get revived by his teammate, B Samurai. Let's see if he can Samurai swing his way over to get the revive. Sinu is perched on top of the hill to try and get that cover fire off. And indeed, that revive will be executed and TG will stay up as a full squad.
Definitely. We can now hear the feedback from them. I don't know if you can, but I can definitely hear some of that.
Turn off all chat.
Of all chat. Definitely, if I was to make another point, look, R3D could have engaged with Destroyer Esports up top in the northern side by the Paradise Resort, but they decided to rotate even earlier on, as the blue hasn't even come in. They don't know, but they are moving in towards the center as much as they can. They decided not to take the fight. Obviously, I think it's because they're a two-man team already. Virus, Bassett, their two main players have been eliminated, so it might be difficult. But Bablu, if we look at Bablu right now, definitely they're coming in, and we see a couple of more fights happening over here between team number, this is team number 18, MGS versus, wow, F4, the new lineup of F4.
F4 being called out on the coastal line of the West Island. It makes me think, why are they there? They technically don't need to be there. I do like the kind of bridge camp that's not bridge camp, but the edge of circle camp that has been pulled off by the side of Magnus. You know, of course, Magnus have to be aware of the fact that they want to look into phase 3. They don't want to get caught around boot camp area for too long, but picking up 2 kills, it's a good start for them as TG pick up a one of their own, should I say, lose a player of their own as KSF goes down.
That's right, and we see Ecstasy over here, Zigsaw and Gyro still going for the nades. Now the hill battle is going to start. Obviously, I feel that these guys have a little bit of a disadvantage because they're on the bottom part of the hill. Ecstasy and Gyro, I could be wrong, but that's how I see it at this moment, that the advantage might go to TG on the height, you know, with the nades if they were to send forward, or even to pick them out from behind the rocks.
Yeah, but one thing that I've noticed about TG that worries me is that they're positioning to survive. They're not positioning to fight, or at least it looks like it. Although, just as I say that, NWO, one of their players gets caught out, and that might give TG the confidence to push in onto the side of NWO. The NWO are now down to 2 players, but TG just going to loot up a little bit as NWO being pinched by MRK on the eastern side of Quarry, and TG just on the hills to the west of them.
Well, Imperium, look at the amount of distance where the battle's going on. You know, look, NWO now again coming into a sandwich position right now. Tough coming into MRK. Yeah. MRK trying to push on NWO. NWO trying to fight with TG. It's like a train. It's like a train, to be honest, with one going to the other, the other. And that's what they seem to be doing right now. MRK over here in this little quarry area, where the machine's going to just drop down and hold off this area. But Tough was the one giving them a hard time, and they were trying to give a hard time to this battle that was happening between TG. But again, if I can bring it back to DES, again, they're going after Destroy R3D, and Joker is taken down. It's going to be elimination time for R3D at the hands of Destroyer Esports, taking home those 4 kills.
On a side note, these circles have been absolutely stonking. They've been spot on because not only have they been pretty much on the mainland since the first circle, which gives clarity on rotations. It gives more freedom to rotate. You're not dictated by bridges and different island areas, but there's a lot of playing area. There's a lot of little compounds inside the first 3 circles. So if the next phase is a massive hard shift in one direction, which I hope it's away from Quarry, then it could put a little bit more pressure onto the likes of NWO, MRK, and Max, as well as even VGL.
That's right, definitely. And we see VGL right there, and they might just engage with Max. Max definitely knows that there is somebody there. The engagement is gonna come through. Stranger is taken down by Max, and another couple nades follows in for that kill confirmation.
That puts VGL down to just 2, my friends. Oxygen, Sufyan left on their own as the next circle does indeed shift away from Quarry over and towards the northwest, which is going to put more pressure on Max, VGL, MRK, and is going to allow the 2-man team of NWO to somewhat gatekeep all of these teams, as they're going to have to start moving their way in on the next 30 seconds. Otherwise, Papa Blue Phase 4 becomes a little bit more difficult to deal with, my friend.
The blue damage definitely becomes a bit more difficult. As you can see, Bablu again in an engagement, having a little bit of a hard time here. As we see, there's 2 people down now. No hate, Wallaceine and Wolf. Wolf got the rev. They're going forward. They're gonna go for the punishment now. And that's Zibian going in for the spray towards that one person remaining. And they're gonna go. But Zibian was taken down.
What?
But there you have it.
For a real quick sec, I thought that was going to be a squad up on the Bablu, but at the end of the day, taking advantage of that man advantage that they had, they pushed in on the compound when it was needed. Not too early, not too late, just at the right time, my friends. And that is the experience that Bablu shows in these kind of games, where if you had left it too late to push in, or if they had it taken too long, higher chance that they would have been third-partied.
Definitely, you're right that there was a higher chance. Again, NWO now in a battle going forward, sending forward a nade to the other compound, going for a little bit of spray, a pre-fire over there towards Winter, but no damage from there. But MRK is still looking to come back. Ecstasy is down right now. He needs to be revved up, which Gyro is going to try to do, but no, they're not going to let him have that satisfaction right there.
I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no chance to push in onto NWO's Max. Third parties onto MRK and gets the squad wipe just like that. At the drop of a hat, Max take advantage of the full squad push in, and now it's Gyro, last player from NWO. Can he get the miracle clutch 1v4? There is possibly an element of surprise. I don't know if MAXD knows that there's a player there. Oh, he sees him in the corner. Pre-fire shots is gonna pull off through, and they take advantage, and that is it. Max gets another kill for their side.
Definitely showing some love over here to Max over here. Thank you so much for that. And I'm not going to take any credit, though, for that part of it. Right here, though, we take a look. They have to rotate now as the blue's going to come in for the damage. Destroyer Esports over here, still outside near the blue. Rafe as a snake right now in the green and just waiting it out for NES in front of them. Amin and Ahmed are going to be coming in right now. I'm just trying to figure out whether they're just going to go into the zone or are they going to just rotate around them and try to just make it through.
Well, this is where what Rafe and Hasni can do is give all your meds to one player and go for the heal strat, right? Hasni has 7 meds and Rafe has 5. Give it all to Hasni or Rafe and go for the heal strat. Splitting it up isn't going to make a difference because this is phase 5. Getting into the circle that's been such a hardship is going to be so difficult. So if they go for the heal strat, much higher chance that they're going to get way more placement points across the board with all the action that's going on around them.
There is so much action going on. 9 teams into the small circle of Sanhok, that too. And
Okay,
Ahmed is taken down. Rafe is there and he comes in. Makes the room for themselves to move in. But the blue just might take him down if they don't heal up quickly.
Rafe?
Yeah.
Rafe just got a 1v2.
Yeah.
Rafe just got a 1v2. He gets knocked down by Tough, but my lord, Rafe from Destroyer Esports, so good, so clutch. And now it's Hasni left on his own. He's the one with the majority of the heals, so he's gonna have to try and survive until the bitter end.
Definitely. Right now, Bablu, the only one in the center of the zone, again, holding those compounds in. I would like to see how they hold it off because they are split on each direction now and just holding off VGL from one side. We see Golgappa holding off the other side where he is sort of looking out towards the team that is going to be Max. The one player left for Max. It seems like they're going to get eliminated. And, definitely Max also trying to put some pressure on these guys to see if they can make it through. But it seems like it's going to be very difficult as long as Bablu makes the right moves.
And look at what Bablu are doing, right? Look at what Bablu are doing. Look how confident they are. They have one player in each individual house. And that makes sense because on one hand, you might be thinking, oh, that's spreading your wings a little bit too much. What is really the chances that 2 of the 3 players are going to be able to hold down one building if a squad pushes in? Whereas by having one, there's a much higher chance that one of their players is going to be able to survive until either the top 2, top 3, or even getting that juicy chicken dinner.
Definitely right now, this is going to be MS47 just wiping out Tough, making their way towards Bablu's compounds. Now in the zone, taking home Hasni with him and sending him back to the lobby, telling him that, listen, you know, the blue uncle, like you said, it doesn't wait for anybody. It either smacks you up or you leave the area or you get smacked up. That's it. And the job is done. But the blue did its damage. That's the job of blue. Right now, though, MS, the full squad, pushing forward towards Bablu right now. And things can heat up because now that's where the split is might just play a factor of, you know, a little bit of a handicap for them.
Plus, it gives a potential chance for the last player, Max, to come in to backstab, sideswipe, do what he can to pick up either a kill or a potential second place. Finishes MS47, gonna play on the underside, on the outsides of these buildings to look for a little bit of a clean initial knock to push in more aggressively, more heavily, because let's be fair, they're going into these buildings with a limited amount of information as the last player, Max, is going to get a little bit of damage on the 98H, but Dread goes down.
And you see the rotation that Zibian just did, but right now, Bablu Golgappa, and they're all healed up. Zibian is going to be 1 HP! 1 HP! And there you have Bablu no hate right now, but it's going to be a 3v4 situation right now. A hold off against the compounds right now. And let's see who's going to be the one that takes it. The nade coming in. Sent forward. Is that one going to connect? Yes, sir. The one already had that damage done. And there's the second one.
Oh, Zibiana, just try and be a distraction. Just try and be a distraction. Don't get knocked. Don't get knocked. Golgappa is going to finish on up. But Zibiana goes too aggressive. Goes a little bit too hungry and gets his head bitten off. For that, you can't make those mistakes, Zibiana. 47, once again, have the body advantage.
That's right, the 3 versus 2 situation now. They're going off from both sides right now. They're just going for the surrounding angle on Bablu right now. No hit and Golgappa, both inside different compounds again right now. And they're going to try to hold off from both sides right now as 47 tries to push forward. Murtaza sending forward the smokes, creating that cover for themselves as they push forward now. Golgappa still going for the spray. And what is they going to make it? No, Fear was down. Oh, baby.
Perfect.
Oh, almost. Oh, it's gonna be a chicken dinner for 47. Bablu almost had it, but 47 had the body advantage, like you said. What do you think, Imperium?
Let's be fair. Fantastic push by 47. It wasn't overly aggressive. It wasn't blind. It was well thought out by them. Yeah, they lost the player, but that was always going to be a potential of kind of coming in on the outside of the circle where you have a couple of buildings inside on the kind of the last couple of phases. But you notice they didn't massively push into those buildings, you know, without any kind of information. They looked to get the information. The biggest reason why it turned in their favor was, fortunately, Zibiana. Zibiana, he had such strong potential to do so much for his side. But if he had just had a bit more trigger discipline, not overpeak that tiny little building that he held angles on, honestly, 47 would have had a much tougher job, because you saw what Golgappa did, right? On the outside of the building. If he had to be in behind Zibiana, that would have been double trouble, right? That would have been so much harder, bigger roadblock for 47. And that's unfortunately the only reason why Team Bablu realistically lost that chicken dinner. However, it doesn't take away from the strong job 47 did to get information.
That's right, and they came in strong. They actually pushed in, had the chance to come in, and, you know, the blue was on them. Definitely they were at the disadvantage before, but like you said, they took advantage of that movement and moved in closer and closer and made it in, and then they just had to do the right moves, like you were saying. And, you know, Zibian, you're right, had to just hold off, be patient, and you know, it is what it is, but definitely a hats off to 47 for pulling off a chicken, and Bablu still coming in consistent the second spot. I'm just going to go towards the scorecard one time, and then we're going to take a little break before the next map, and we'll be back with you guys in just a moment. So Let me just go over the scorecard for the people right now that are watching. So chicken dinner for 47, and Bablu's got the second place right now with about 7 kills, and Max coming in on third. A good job for them. They're coming in strong now with 6 kills. By the rest of the scorecard has been displayed in front of you guys, and the scorecards will be up. The total scores will be updated for all of you guys on Destroyer Esports Instagram at the end of the day once all the matches are done. So definitely you can check out the updated score over there, and we'll be back with you guys in just a few moments with Imperium joining us again.
Go for it.
All right, guys. So we're back here again with Imperium sitting next to me. I'm just gonna bring him up on the screen right now. I don't want to just bring him all of a sudden. It might just be a shock for him as well. So I'll take a little time to show the casters page and then show him on the cam. So he has a minute to, take care of himself. And every time I say that we have a minute left, as I bring you on, the game starts in the back end. I seem to be messed up on my timings over here a little bit, Imperium.
Hey, look, in my opinion, that just means that the viewers have less time of listening to us waffle on before we get into some fantastic PUBG mobile action. That's why I look at it. Or they don't have to see my ugly face in HD for too long, But hey, that game too was genuinely was fantastic, and it was great to see some of the teams shine even more. TG. On the kind of opposite end of the scale, they need to be more aggressive. They need to be a little bit more controlling. They had some good positions. They had, the potential, the theory of a 2-2 split, fantastic. But the execution of what they try and pull off is just not there at the moment. I wonder what happened to MAXD as well, because they were coming in off the back of a third party and then a finish off, and they had a full squad and then they were suddenly down to one. So those kind of things, I'm wondering what happened to them. But Miramar, it's a different map. We'll have to wait and see, as that playing path is obviously a lot easier to deal with.
That's right. And the plane path over here, it always matters which way it's going. Right now, it seems like a very favorable one, cutting right through the center of the map. Like, you have main areas are all accessible, but Valle del Mar is where Bablu generally goes, and I want to see how they are going to rotate to Valle del Mar and rotate back from there, definitely.
Interesting stuff, to say the least. I'm very much looking out for what kind of drop spots are being pulled out off the bat. 47 going for a very early drop spot to Ruins. On one hand, it's out of sight, out of mind, but on the other hand, if that's an Eastern Phase 1 circle, they're going to have a long way to go to enter Phase 1. But I'm sure they're aware of that. I'm sure they're prepared for that. We have a VGL. They're going to be in El Pozo. F4 going for probably the Cabrera drop spot. They'll end up going there. They'll just drop in Crater Fields. And is that two teams that are going to Chumacera? Okay. EGP and the one and only... who is it that's gone with them?
That is gonna be... One second, let me just take a look. That's gonna be tough. Yep. Tough.
Okay.
They just might have a tough time over there, but it seems like in Hacienda del Patron, we also see R3D coming up with TG as well over there, and the battle seems to have started already. So let's just go over there, because I see some kills coming in and some damage coming in already.
I see somebody with a Winchester. I want to see Winchester knocking this Miramar game. That'd be pretty juicy for my eyes to feast on. Obviously, TG have the man advantage right off the bat, as unfortunately Midmad went down very early on. Shapata is definitely, his position is very much be made aware of for Vanta, as Vanta's prone down, using that third-person perspective to keep an eye on Shapatar as a Reaper just across the way from where Vanta is, and his other two teammates be Samurai and Abadal, or Abal, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Or also looting up in the other building.
That's right. So we have Colossi, Vanta, Bassett, and these are the ones that are for R3D, and then TG definitely right across. Vanta can look out for Shapatar, but again, like we talked about, patience, not taking the shot until Vanta has a clear one, but getting damage from behind. Wow, from across the building, they're getting some damage from back there. Definitely a nade coming in, because Shapatar seems to know the area, and another nade here with the damage, but no damage was not enough to do any major anything to Vanta right here.
Just looking to somewhat tickle each other. Shapatar gets the boom dynamite knock on the Vanta, and that's going to allow the rest of TG to push in and confirm the kill and leave R3D down to now just 2 players. Colossi and Beast, or Bassett should I say, further back. No real angle that they're able to get a swipe onto TG, and I like that because I mentioned in Sanhok that TG needed to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more controlling, and there's no better way to start off a game than picking up a couple of kills. It does wonders to your confidence. It does wonders to your momentum as a team coming into an individual game. And, you know, in my eyes, a much different TG side than what we saw in Sanhok.
Definitely. I think they heard you in the comments about being aggressive, and they're like, let's switch it up, boys. Let's show them what we got. They're thinking that we're a little bit softer, but let's go for it. And, you know, Abul going forward right now gets taken down by Colossi. Hopefully, he doesn't get finished off and he can survive because his teammates should be there to provide the cover for him and, you know, giving him cover fire so he can stay safe. He's not bleeding out as bad because this is obviously the first circle, the first down. Right now, Colossi there, and the spray with that Uzi bounce Potter, but he missed it just like that. A nade getting cooked up right now and gonna be going forward towards Colossi, and there you have it. A little bit of damage, but not enough.
I don't know why they're not being more aggressive on that. I don't know why they're taking their time. Shapatar does get the knock, but he is traded by Bassett. And again, 2 players of TP knocked down, 1 player confirmed. This shouldn't be the case for TG. Again, good, great theory, but poor execution. The execution from TG needs to massively improve. I gave them all the compliments in the world for the start of this game, but losing B Samurai, having Adball and Shapatar knocked down, it ain't looking good, as Reaper is also going to have to deal with this 1v2. There's no time to go for any of the revives. He's going to go down, and R3D come out on top. Like, how did they let that happen?
I am speechless right now. I'm speechless right now because TG was a man. It was a 4-man team that was just going on. They even had Colossi down, and it was just Bassett that was left. Wow, it's just you know what? It's
because they took their time too much. They messed around. And I'm genuinely like annoyed with them because I can see the potential they have, but it's like, come on, guys. You know, there's a time to be calculated. There's a time to be slow, methodical when you don't know where the enemies are. But when you know for a fact, you know for a god honest fact that you've already gotten 2 kills onto the opposing team. You know there's only 2 players left. You don't mess about. You don't piss about. You go full send it. You make use of that man advantage, and you go all guns blazing as a full squad, because at that point, if one of your players gets knocked down, there's a much higher chance of you being able to refrag, of getting that knockdown in return. Whereas when you take your time, you're going to get picked off, just like TG were.
That's right.
They can do better.
It is, because we're seeing it from the top, we feel more emotional when we see something like that happen, because we see all angles of the things, you know. But definitely, you're right.
Yeah.
They need to be more assertive. They need to be more certain of their push that it will work.
Oh, well.
You know that, but it is what it is. You can see UNB rotating right now towards Destroyer Esports right now. They got the bikes. They're swagging with the bikes right now, and they just might run into that area. I don't know whether they're aware that Destroyer Esports is in that area. You know, just waiting over. But UNB Pablo's there. Deadshot coming in as well, and Destroyer Esports definitely can hear the vehicle sounds.
Oh yeah. They can, but I respect the fact that UNB, for the most part, are treading with caution on this rotation in the center phase 1. They haven't gone in massively deep. They stopped by the side of a hill. They're looking to get information, and this is good from UNB. I like that. I really like that. Their entry point onto this hillside was both smooth and it was clean cut, and what I was a little bit afraid that they were going to go deep onto the Destroyer, but they stopped at the right point, and that's pretty good for them. Teams are still waiting a little bit to rotate in towards the center of the circle, because of how central this phase 1 was. So 47, as I noted, with their runes drop spot, they don't have too far to go, so they're taking their time. F4 and the Cabrera also going to take their time, and with 14 teams, 50 players, there's in theory automatically more landmass available for these teams, and that could be affecting their rotation time, because they could be looking at that going, oh, well, there's technically more room available, so we should be okay leaving it a bit late.
Definitely, but Max, if you look at them right now, they're in the blue right now. Minas del Sur, Las Eagles is where they are. The blue's giving them damage in the first one. They don't even have, it doesn't seem like they have a vehicle. They gotta go by foot maybe a lot more, and that's a lot of distance to cover. I mean, I'm not saying that they won't make it, but definitely not it shows that they weren't prepared properly in this area right now.
Possibly.
But UNB definitely starting off, takes down Deshan and Desrafes. Nade accidentally takes off his own mate.
Oh, Rafe gets knocked down. It's Myth left on his own, and he gets pushed on. And UNB, they started off with one knock. They got the second. They pushed in. That was crispier than a fresh bag of crisps, my friend. That was so well executed by UNB onto Destroyer Esports, and a well-deserved squad wipe.
Well-deserved squad wipe, because these guys pushed in proper. Like you said, got the information. When they were first looking out, I saw that they were looking into the garage and they saw a car where it shouldn't have been. And that's why they knew that somebody was there and they didn't push in. So definite use of information and pushed in at the right time. One thing is, Rafe, I don't know how much it would have not helped, but Rafe's nade hitting his own mate, Husni, and taking him out as well probably didn't help. But I don't know how much of a help it would have been the other way around either, with the four-man squad pushing on them and just coming in strong, R3D in the background looking to rotate. They're going to just rotate out. The circle shifting closer on the center of San Martin now. And we see a VGL probably with Bablu rotating as well. They just might go closer. But you know what I hate is Miramar is a very sketchy map. When you look at the map, it seems like they're very close to each other. And then when you go in, there's a lot of distance still there for the fights to happen.
Because a gigantic map that is, as Danny gets knocked down with the Car 98 headshot. It's such a massive terrain, but you still got to be aware that teams can clash early based off the fact that it's incredibly difficult to rotate in the Miramar terrain, right? It's very bumpy. What looks like an initially solid path line can get hampered, slowed down, stopped. You might have to divert because of an unusual terrain that you're somewhat not aware of. So it's not easy in Miramar. That's why, the teams do need to be very, very careful with their rotational paths in the Miramar map, while VGL take shots onto Bablu, send them away, get a little bit more control and freedom to play on the kind of northwestern edge of this circle, and be put under less pressure by Team Bablu.
Definitely, it's under less pressure right now by Team Bablu. I am always in agreement right now. Anything can happen in Miramar. You can take one or two people even down, and as you push forward towards them, you know what? Your car can get flipped over, you can get stuck, and you can have a third party happen. A lot of things can go wrong in Miramar, because this is the type of terrain it is. Like you said, it takes them out all the time. Right now, the teams are coming in strong now. R3D still in the center of the map, along with UNB. They don't need to go anywhere. They just need to sit tight and stay patient. Max finally seems to be finding their vehicles and rotating in from Los Leones now, finally joining the rest of the squads. And, Bablu coming in through Power Grid right now should be okay. But NWO coming in from Cruz del Val, they have an open area. They can just hold the compounds on the edge and just wait out to see where the next blue will shift it, the circle out.
47, they have a real solid spread on the western side of this map, but I'm a little bit surprised they're there and not on the higher train that's above San Martin, because I think that would be a little bit better for them to hold on to. I think this is much trickier to defend. However, like I mentioned, I respect the fact that they do have overall a very solid spread across the board, so they are, in my eyes, very well prepared to defend their location in this phase 2.
Definitely, and we see them Bablu moving in towards the center now as well, and they might just run into UNB if they keep going the route. Well, actually, they're just holding off another hill, and they're gonna try to study over here. This is Bablu, no hate. Originally, he was known as Pikachu, and then we have Juan Wolf. He's the IGL, the one that scouts and then tells the team. A very great predictor of zones, to be honest with you, and from his experience. And right now, he does see MGS on the other side of the hill. They're trying to just gauge how many people there are. The damage from the mini trying to bring in, but I don't know how much that can happen. Bablu, no hate though, did get the damage as he's healing himself up because we heard that one shot, and I think that was meant for him.
Good stuff by Magnus. Keep the pressure on. Make some noise. You let Team Bablu know that you're there, because that position on the Picado Hill is so important to push teams back around, because if you allow too many teams to encroach on your space, you can massively get punished for it. The next phase, my friend, is about to pop up. You see on the eastern side, I-72, NES, and NWO heading a little bit more towards the center of the circle. The next phase shifts massively over to the east. It wipes away Picado Hill as a holding point and puts the side of I-72 in the dead center of phase 3.
Definitely. Tef had a look out towards, MGS as well. Try to do some damage from the backside with a tap-a-tap action from the mini, but nothing concrete came through with that. The circle, like I said, shifted again towards the east side of the map. It's going to take in now the graveyard as the sort of center, a little bit off center of it. And, I-72 enjoying that space. And as Bablu rotates, it would be interesting to see if they're gonna have a fight, which seems, oh, look at that. And just like that, like I said, Zibian is gonna have to exit his car, because just a couple of shots and that paper car that I call Miramar's cars are gonna go off.
Paper car, let's hope it's not a paper cut for Team Bablu. They are getting sideswiped from the side of UMB. UMB moving away. They've had a couple of good engagements so far. Looking for another onto Team Bablu. Of course, Bablu do have inside the circle as a bit of an anchor point. They also have a couple of players spread out down the bottom of the hill, but I really like how UMB are positioned. If Infinity can get closer, that is Mount knocking down a player of Bablu off the bat. Good start from UMB.
Good start from UNB and MGS helping them out as well, going for Bablu as well. We spoke about the targeting in the start. I don't think that this is a purposeful targeting, but I think they see Bablu and they want a piece of the action. Definitely they want it, they deserve it if they can earn it, But Bablu right now is in a little bit of trouble because one of their key players, two of their key players are down. The IGL himself is down right now. The third one is down now. It's all up to Zibian again. And we're going to see whether Zibian is going to be able to hold off, take a couple of more kills. They got 0 kills. They won't get any position points if they die right now. So they really need to hold off and get something happen to them. Right now, Zibian, though, it looks tough because he's sandwiched in between UNB and FGS.
And I love the fact that two of the players who are on the high ground, Infinity and Pablo of UNB, were not afraid to make noise, take a couple of shots off, and even confirm a kill onto at least one of the Bablu players while Mount was getting the revive on the dead shot. That's a really great balance of just controlled aggression coming out from UMB as teams are full sending in towards the center of the circle. NWO looking pretty good. Last player of R3D, Bassett, goes down. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. You're back in the lobby, Bassett. Out of there.
And I thought that they wouldn't notice him. I was wondering what he would do. And, when they threw the molly, I said, oh, they know he's here. And then they just pushed and, even if he took one down, definitely the damage he had, he couldn't survive with the second shot. So, but hats off to him for trying at least. Maybe I could say that's what I can say right now. And yes, Maxi over here taking a look out towards MGS now, giving that damage with the mini right now, going for the action. Adil lit up down to 2 HP now. Maxi is just gonna hold off back. There's a couple of teams behind him on the hill as well. I-72 can, if they have long range weapons, some scopes, they can probably look out and do some damage if they have a clear sight. But I don't think that that's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, and NES are definitely in a little bit of a pickle of a situation. Not directly now, but they will be as the circle starts closing in, because they have to try and make their way in themselves while holding on to a couple of teams around you. VGL gonna get caught out by Tough. That is nicely done by Tough. 3 kills so far in this game. Looking for a couple more. VGL get caught out in the blue.
They got caught out in the blue, and then as they come in, that's right, Rahi comes in, takes out Fixed Recon in the back from there, and Max is coming in. Now, Tough also has a sight on Max Rahi as well as they come in, but this is VG and Oxygen and Hammy. They're both trying to come in from the blue side, but like I said, the Ridges, they can really give you a hard time, and this is going to be tough. They're going to give him an even harder time right now because they know that he needs to come in. There's no other way around it. There's no heal battles that can happen for that long, and Max Rahi taking his advantage and getting that 1 kill under his belt.
I love that from Rahi of Max, right? Because what that does is that not only does it give technically more freedom behind for the 2 remaining players of his team who are inside the circle, but it's allowed him to kind of pick up a kill or 2 and just, you know, he might go down for his troubles coming into the circle, but it's really good stuff coming out from Rahi, and nice teamwork across the board. Tough playing that aggression side outside the circle, but they're going to send 2 players wrapping around onto the side of NES and looking for an entry point in the circle. They find it with 2, but can they follow it with the full squad?
That's right. They are just gonna get sandwiched again. A battle that's ensuing between I-72 and 47. They just might find themselves in the center of that one, where bullets from both sides can come through. But at the moment, though, they're just being patient, not taking any chances, not letting anybody know. They have smoked themselves, so they have given up their position. So Ani right now from the top of the hill definitely can look out towards the Maxi. Nexi taken down by Tough, though. So they are not holding back. They're going for it, and Ani also concentrating on Portal Esports. Murtaza over here right now, and Murtaza on the receiving end of that behind the car. This car can any minute blow up and take him with him. So,
oh my God,
he needs to just stay away from that car.
Oh my God, that circle shift. Seriously, that circle shift.
Oh my goodness.
So another hard shift to the east. And VGL Oxygen is going, will shiver me timbers. I made it into Minas Generalis, and now I'm close to the eastern edge of the circle. Not saying it's going to be an automatic chicken dinner, but it could be pretty good, as I-72 still have themselves separated one by one on the graveyard dogs area of a Miramar, and they will want to look to join up sooner rather than later, because holding on as a 1-1-1-1 split on phase 4 of Miramar is incredibly difficult to pull off.
That's right. And you know what, right now, I-72 Qasim over here looking out, he has a clear advantage. As he sees the people moving out of the zone, they're gonna be coming through his way, and he just has to sit tight, give him a good surgical spray from his side, and take damage and take off this easy kills. But right now, he wasn't able to do much, so he has to just simply move, rotate back into the circle, as we see Max run into another team right here. This is gonna be EGP in front of Max right now, and will they be able to do the damage? Will they be able to get some more kills or not? A nade being sent forward by Asad to set off the game.
They've already gotten a knockdown onto Ali, so it's just one player left. Insane walks around, and Asad goes, you ain't getting it much further, my friend. That's a squad right. MAXD pushing in, looking for maximum damage, maximum retaliation, maximum result in Miramar. I-72 now forming together to hold on the southeastern side, while NES crashing in on the east of Minas Generalis. But will they be able to get the better of VGL, or VGL, will they gatekeep them?
I think that they're gatekeeping them. 2 of the people from NES eliminated. A third one down now. Yes. And the man is just pulling off the clutches right now. The 3rd kill is going to be confirmed. If not, and just like oh man, right there. Just
one might say he ran out of breath, my friend. He ran out of breath. As MAXD are going to also capitalize on that by pushing into the circle as it centers up quite nicely. F4? Don't go Alt F4 in your browser. I definitely wouldn't recommend that, but F4 could definitely do something from their position on the northern tip of the circle. NWO are not afraid to be tickling on them, but NWO have to find a position inside the circle themselves. 5 teams left, 15 players.
15 players, 5 teams, and let's see what NW has to do. They either are going to wrap around and find that entryway, or they're going to send forward the nades, keep moving forward with the smokes, and hope that they can have a way into the battle. But F4 seems to be holding off over here. They have an easy way. They're right at the edge of the zone. They don't need to go anywhere at the moment. Taha, Share, even look at the Share, like he's got the height advantage on the other side, you know. So they're spread out pretty good, and they're trying to cover as much area from the height that they can. Max right there can get easy damage from F4 as well right here.
Yeah, but look at Max. Like, they only started this game as a 3-man team, and they got into the top 5. They've played incredibly well, calculated. They played intelligently, but they also haven't been afraid to take a fight should they need to. As it's going to be the push from NES. F4 now have more players around them than ever in this game, while I-72 are struggling down to the last player standing down the bottom of the hill behind the rock, looking for the revives, as F4 using the smokes to create a little bit of space.
That's right, and NES got a little bit of room right behind those silos that they're waiting behind with the smoke, but that's not going to help them as the nades come through and the damage is coming in from Max right now. They're trying to send forward a couple of nades, but the smokes as well, they're sending forward. They just need to send off a good nade, but NWO making that room through F4 right now as they come through. Gyro going head to head right now with 3 of the players, while his other mate is going to be looking to the other side.
NWO taking 2 fights at once. Yes, let's go, baby. As they put the pressure onto F4, second knockdown off the back of a confirmation, make that a third, and F4 down to just 1. Taha finds 1. He's gonna find the second. The squad wipe for Taha. He saves the day for F4.
He saves the day for F4, and it's gonna be Max now. 3 teams left, 7 people. The whole squad of Max still alive along with F4. They're gonna give their revs up, and they're gonna come through. I-72 still surviving at the bottom. They're probably at the toughest situation. Max Dread taken down right now, though. And Asad coming in with a buggy, trying to come in through Rahi. Lit up right now. Oni is taken down by Rahi. He's taken down by Malek now.
Assad,
it's all up to Asad.
Assad, what are you doing? Assad, what are you doing? Oh my lord, that was wild. You had to go for it, but at the end of the day, F4 at the bitter end, at the end of a straw, just Taha left on his own with a sliver of health, while the last remaining player of I-72, unfortunately not quite being able to see him because of the tiny lip of this hill, being gifted a glimmer of hope as Taha once again has to pull off a 1v2. He doesn't have a first aid, but is he going to be able to pick one up? Yes, he will. But time's ticking. Time's ticking, my friend. Can he pull off the miracle upon miracles?
The nades are coming through. They don't know the exact position, but they definitely can hope that he's behind the buggy, and they might go for the damage. The nades are coming in right behind, but they're going long right now. It's going to be Taha just holding off, waiting to see what's going to happen. The Molly coming in. Every utility they have, they're coming in.
Nice.
Oni wrapping around the right side. What's going to happen?
Well, because now they're inside the circle. Now he's inside the circle. Taha, you have to start making some noise. But the body advantage, the position advantage is going against you. And that is I-72 picking up the chicken dinner in Miramar.
Definite, amazingly done by I-72, surviving, taking home that advantage that they had, the time that they had to give that rev. You know, Ani needed that rev, which he got, and that gave him the advantage, the 2-man advantage to go up against F4. And, you know, I thought that Taha, like F4X would be eliminated, but definitely Taha holding off and taking home that squad wipe for his team, and then giving the rev out, gave him the chance to survive till the end. Max, unfortunately, I think you'll say, was a sandwich in between. I mean, you know, I'm indifferent to it, but yeah, definitely a great job by I-72. I'll hand it over to you now.
Yeah, like I-72, they nearly lost it, let's be fair, because there was one point where they were coming down the hill and 3 of their players were knocked. Right, 3 of their players were knocked, and it wasn't looking good, but I think with a little bit of help from some distraction on the teams that were looking in their area. I think it was most notably NWO got kind of distracted on the fight against F4. That's what kind of low-key saved the day for I-72. But they didn't, kind of wait for the chicken dinner to come to them. Fair play, they did push across the road. They did end up getting the kills needed on that chicken dinner in the end. Taha of F4, that 1v2 onto NWO was absolutely spot on. 5-7 more seconds probably would have been enough to keep F4 up as a two-man team. So that's why, and it's so hard from F4. It's so hard for any team when you're kind of hindsight is 2020 and you think, okay, we're good for now, but every second can count. If they had to be maybe a little bit more aggressive 5 seconds earlier and push upon NWO and not allow two of their players to get knocked down, it could have been a different story. But no doubt F4 played a much better game than they showed so far across the first 3 games. The team that I'm impressed with most is definitely MAXD. Because, I say that because they came into this game as a 3-man team, and they respected that, but they also didn't play to survive. They played to control, they played to fight, they played to position, and they played to ultimately win even as a trio, and they respected the fact that they were a trio. And the amount of kills that they picked up for that, I think it was a total of 5 kills.
Yep.
That deserves, in my opinion, a strong amount of respect, and very happy to see that performance come out from them in this game number 3.
Definitely, I'm not gonna be biased here and say that they are the best team, obviously.
I know.
I hope that they're gonna actually look back at the stream and pick up on the pointers that you're giving, and to use that information and knowledge to improve further, improve themselves. But definitely, one of the things I gotta mention here, F4X is a new lineup for F4. Their original lineup is not there, so they are still a little bit, they're a bit more young. They're still the baby that's about to crawl and run.
Yeah.
But doing really well for that. And like you said, initially, I gotta go back to that one point. Bablu, because of the 5 chicken dinners, teams definitely want to stop them in their tracks, get some of those points on the board. And, the teams are seeming to do that. And Bablu seems to find themselves in the right place, in my opinion, in the zone, but the wrong place when they're surrounded by so many teams all of a sudden that they come like Zipian at the end, remember that he had so many teams around him. I don't know whether that is a draw of the luck, or whether that's just how they just found the spot and they just got in and not enough information was there. Maybe, I don't know.
It's something that they'll be able to look back on and go,
yeah,
could have done this better, we could have done that better. It is part of the kind of evolution of teams, evolving and making the
definitely
fighter, even if it's just from one day to another. Real quick before we go to break, I have to highlight UMB, because they got 9 kills in that game and they went out in 11th place. So definitely they probably still could have done better on the rotation that was kind of far shifting to the east. But man, 9 kills, all of those engagements, all of those 9 kills were unbelievably deserved. And, I hope that they can match that along with some strong rotations in the late stages of the game. If they do that, they're going to be pretty monstrous in the future. So really liked how they played in Miramar.
Definitely, like you said, UNB, like I said, Crypto is the ex-member of UNB, and we see how Crypto's performing right now in PMPL. And it can just maybe set the tone a little bit to see what the mindset of the team is like. I'm sure that Flex also played their part, STE played their part, but UNB definitely found themselves in the right spot. They had the angles to pick off the teams. They did the damage where there was needed, and they got those kill points, which are very important with the new setup. Like you said, The kill points, every single point now matters because the placement points are not 20 anymore. And, so definitely makes the teams a bit more aggressive coming into this map, into the matches. Let's go for a little bit of break because we don't have much time left. And then we'll come back again with Imperium joining us for the last match, which will be the birthplace of every team, as I say, Erangel. And welcome back, guys, everybody. We're back with you again. Imperium is here with us. And let me bring him on the cam, the beautiful face of the man right there. There you have it. That That's definitely nice thing. He's enjoying his music. There's a little bit imaginary music going on in the heads right now. It's good to see you enjoying and laughing. What time is it there right now where you are?
It's only like 10 or 9:50.
Not bad.
Evening. It's pretty early for me, you know. I tend to have a little bit of a weird sleep schedule, so I tend to be on North America sleep schedule than anything. But hey, you know what? We're getting into the final game of the day.
That's right.
It's on the hollow grounds of Erangel. Let's see if we can make this a damn good show.
I think the route, if you look at it, is going to be very, very good. And it's a very fair route. Gives you right through the center of it. I'll let you take that one as well, because I think you do the best job on it.
To be fair, I couldn't have said that better myself in terms of the playing path. It's incredibly fair for all of the teams to get to where they want to in terms of their drop spots. TG going to go to Primorsk, happy days. You're going to have Tuff and Bablu going to make their way up towards the George Paul area. R3D will go to, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Rozhok they go to.
Yep.
If I remember correct. Jeez, I actually remembered that. It's a miracle, Batman. No, because normally I'm terrible remembering drop spots, genuinely. But and then we're gonna have teams pretty much go where they want to. It's a good start. I just hope the phase 1 is just as clean, just as easy.
I hope so too. Nobody loves a wrangle battle as much as I do right now, as teams are landing through. We don't see much of a shared drop, I guess, right now. To see that early fight, too early right now. But we may just see something at the end near Lipovka if the teams tend to go toward Yasnaya or anything like that. But I don't think. I think they're going to be having some easy loot time and maybe do the rotation. And the circle, I love. This one, I love, Imperium. Where the angle...
my God.
Where the island is split into 2, and I love to see a good bridge camp.
Oh, my Lord. Military island circles are notoriously some of the hardest circles to rotate into, to deal with, to interact with as a team. Both VGL and I-72 instantly looking to go for that rotation onto Military Island. VGL have 2 players in the island, 2 players outside of the island on the mainland. But I like the fact that they're kind of low-key coexisting with each other. Big respect to both teams, to be fair. So I can't argue with that one. And hopefully that'll benefit both teams coming into the late stages of the game, as they'll be better positioned to take on either each other or other fights.
Definitely, these guys are gonna take home they're gonna take over military base early on. The houses right by the bridge. I'm gonna try to. It'll be interesting to see whether I-72 moves more and more deeper into military base, or whether they hold off these compounds and maybe wait for somebody to come through the bridge and maybe take on a fight through that side, which might be something. Could be doable, I'm not sure. But VGL, it seems like they're holding off near the edge and the compounds right off of the bridge side. They can actually see if anybody's crossing over. And most of their players came by water, so they got a boat their way here as well. And they got the cars coming in. Rozhok, if we look at right now, we're looking at R3D, they might just come into a battle with NES. They seem to be on the hill. And the Rozhok hill is where the damage is coming in.
Back off, Maxi. Back off, my friend. You're okay. You don't need to worry about getting damaged. Come on. Be safe, my friend. Yeah. I'm looking over at where other teams are rotating. Destroyers heading towards a western bridge as well. They're on the coastal line of the mainland. It makes sense. It's not like they're looking for rotation into the island, but it is kind of preparing for some kind of a shift. A player of Tough. Okay, I like it because it's very early into phase 1. It's
Yeah.
only one player on his own, so if he goes down, it's a sacrificial lamb, and it's an anchor point for the rest of his team. I think that's incredibly healthy from Tough, and they deserve a lot of respect for that. They still might get caught out by he still might get caught out by I-72, to be fair, but I think he recognizes that and he instantly shifts over to the grassy pastures of the military island western side of it.
Yeah, definitely going to the outskirts of that. If you look at TG, very interesting to see. I think they are going to rotate from the water, from
They
Primorsk
have to.
all the way down there, because anything else just might be it. But we see a couple of teams now. Like I said, the one that I love, and I think we might just see a couple of fights on the bridge, because there's about 3 teams rotating right now. The remaining members of Tough are coming in. Destroyer Esports are right at the edge. I-72, some people are going to the water. We got Oni just waiting at the edge, and UNB. The one that you were saying is there, but definite fight coming in between Tough and Destroyer Esports, with Venom getting a little bit of a taste of some bullets from Husney.
He's surviving for now. We also see Hasni getting knocked down from the Destroyer, so a bit of a cheeky third party working out and allowing Tough to once again move across onto the military island fairly early on into this phase 1, but I-72 gonna push Venom onto the hills and he nearly gets caught out. See UMB pushing in onto the Destroyers, Max.
And right now we need Deadshot just climbing over it. He's gonna be taken down as he comes over. That was a wrong move at the wrong time, in my opinion. Right now, this is gonna be Infinity, the only one. He's got the Uzi, 35 bullets ready to go. He's gonna try to take one down, but no.
Perfect.
Destroyer Esports definitely came together, composed on this fight, and took them all down without losing or taken down by any of their mates.
I don't know if that was a mistake from UMB, but unless you are absolutely 9 billion% sure you're safe, you never wall jump animate. Because that instantly stops you from being able to shoot, and that makes you a clean free target. Bit of a feels bad man from UMB, but great protection from Destroyer. Great defense from them as the first squad has been wiped off in this lobby. NES are pushing across the water. You have a few teams moving on the eastern side of the military island. Indeed, TG are taking that botation from Primorsk onto the southern side of the military island.
And definitely I-72 is holding off here. I want to see Malik if he's going to engage with anybody coming on the bridge. He sees a lot of cards, but he's not taking an active fight with any of them right now. He's just going to hold off. He is going for cover to his teammate Oni. But on the other side, like you said, the eastern bridge, we see a takedown of F4 Share, and he's going to be eliminated. Shah's there, holding off on the bridge and definitely looking out to see where the damage is coming from. I believe the half of their team is going through the water, and from the compounds right now, you know, they are just going for that damage from those infamous compounds, the 3-story building by the bridge, the deadly one.
Oh, F4, you're not looking in a good spot right now. You're 1 player down, 3 players left. There's a team coming in from behind. It's something you're going to have to be aware of. Man, I told you, rotations on a military island-based circle is some of the toughest to deal with, and we are seeing all of these teams, to be fair, be very heavily tested on their experience within military island circles.
Definitely MRK Arif now looking out. He's taking in the information. He sees a car on the side of the bridge, so he knows somebody was there. He hasn't seen F4 Share in the water right now. He's letting one of his teammates go up while he gives cover to his teammates. But definitely, they're gonna be able to make through. But the spray is coming in towards MGS. No damage though from the DP shots. They're gonna be able to rotate. Okay, that's no problem. Attila taking a little bit of damage. He's gonna heal up though. Looking to hold the bridge. They're trying to figure out if there's anybody else that's gonna come in. But it seems like the western side of the bridge is more busy. And we see the battle between TG.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that TG didn't go for more southern military island botation, but they're not afraid to take the shots onto Tough, but 2 of their players get knocked down just like that because they're somewhat in the open and they pay the price for that. Again, the strong idea, but I wouldn't say extremely poor execution, but not the cleanest of executions, as they are looking for the revive onto their 2 knocked down teammates, and TJ should hopefully keep themselves up as a full squad.
Definitely, they should keep themselves as a full squad right now. Stranger is the only one down now left over. Venom has to come in. He's quite far, in my opinion, to come in and give that rev. It's not going to happen. He just now has the hopes to survive and maybe go for those placement points. Maybe get a kill here and there. Right now, though, definite battle with MRK, though, in trouble right now because MGS seems to be just going at it. They lost one person, Conquer, but MGS Weekend, Adil, and Susu Jahe still holding off on the grassy knoll right here, you know, and just targeting anybody they can on the bridge from every angle.
Ooh, phase 2 pops up, my friend, and it shifts up the northeast. Guess what? A good bit of that mainland is still in play, so that's going to make NWO go, ooh, do we stay on the mainland? Do we shift over onto the island? If I were them, I'd, for the poops and giggles, stay in the mainland. Why not? Why not? Let all the other teams take each other out.
Definitely, that could be one of those strategies. You know, just wait it out and see what happens. Maybe the circle just might shift up because it is a crazy circle, and we don't know which way it's gonna go. Definite fight though right now between MRK and MGS going on, and MGS right now just trying to take out 2 of them. Adil lost his helmet, so he's in a bit of a pickle because anytime he gets a good headshot, he's gonna go down right away, and he's not gonna be able to stay up too long. But MRK still holding off behind the car. Weekend, I think MGS with a slight advantage because they got the higher ground. That keeps a lookout on these guys, giving them that little bit of a trouble if the smoke wasn't there.
We also see a little bit of a fight on the western side of the bridge between Bablu and 47. They're trading knocks, they're trading kills. Murtaza moves across onto the lighthouse side. Adro takes a little bit of damage, but all the while will be able to stay behind Yuaz. As he once again gets tickled by Team Bablu. The grenades are going to be flying in. He chucks out a couple of smokes to try and give him a bit of space, but he gets knocked down. Zibiana with the grenade. A Kobe play, and Murtaza bites off more than he can chew.
That's right, he's gonna be in a bit of trouble because he's across the road to come to him. They definitely need to give the knock, which they did. Zebian is down 9, no hate will have seen. He's also lit up, he's gonna have to go rev Zebian right now. Wolf is getting that rev up, which he got from Danny, and they're gonna have to wait it out and see what's gonna happen. Danny is gonna try to go for the damage now to Hifzan, but Hifzan's got the DP and he's getting surgical with it, and he's trying to go for Javan again with those sprays. The little bursts of DP are very dangerous.
Push him back, push him back. 47, push them back. Bit of a stalemate. Plus, you know, 47 have got to realize that there is still possibly a team behind them. In this case, there is, but that's a nice knock by Nexi onto player Team Bablu. Unfortunately, they don't have the ability to really push in on it. It's just a matter of suppressing Bablu, maybe push him into the water side as we're getting into the blue zone, closing in on this phase 2, and there's a fight breaking out in the center between NES and MAXD.
That's right, NES Maxi over here holding off. Amin, though, is down again. It seems to be that it's a 3-man squad right now, and they have to figure out how they're going to give that rev, which I believe they are going towards. Rafa is going to come in for that rev to Amin. Definitely 4-man squad back up again. They're going to just heal up, and they have to move out. If anybody comes in from behind or sees them, which I don't think is going to be too much of a situation because there's nobody behind them, it's going to be Max who's in trouble, because I feel that if they didn't have the compounds, they'd be sandwiched right now, because there's a team F4 right behind them as well, which could be a bit of a trouble for them. But I think that it's just going to be a fight. As long as Max stays inside the compounds and goes for it, they should be all right.
Okay, a little bit of a slower part as the teams are starting to become a bit settled on their area. Still, NWO encroaching onto the bridge side of the eastern, or the start of the bridge on the eastern side of the map, putting more pressure onto the last two players of MRK who are in the water swimming with the fishes for the time being. Nice flank position by a deal of MSG, but he's gonna get put under pressure and knocked down by Butter. It was good, but only good if he doesn't get caught out.
I think he is gonna get called out right now. They are going for the spray, but yeah, he has a little bit of cover that he's gonna hold off for. NW Ecstasy though, right here, he's still looking out towards the deal, hoping that he can get that target in. He's hoping to get a couple more bullets in to really go for the confirmation. Zebian with that nade towards his own mate in the kill feed. Just seems like that I should go back and figure out what happened over here. It seems like that they're in a bit of trouble again as they try to cross the bridge over now.
They're holding it down. They're holding it down. The next circle does shift down south. There's quite a good bit of water in play, but for the most part, it's going to be a military island finish. The threat is there. The threat is there. So there's a bit of insecurity for a lot of these teams. Will they be able to deal with it as F4 going up against TG? I talked about what TG need to do. Max, they need to close out the fight against F4.
Definitely. That. Oh, Shamus getting a little bit of damage as he goes in, but Go takes him down, and he's taken down by TG right there, and that threat has been eliminated that they were feeling. But here is the rest of the battle. Taha is down now, and TG is gonna.
Be careful, Sinu.
Ooh, TG is getting a little bit more damage right here than they hope for. Reaper coming in from behind now, and Panda seems to be sending forward some sort of gifts, whether it's a smoke or a nade. The molly though from Reaper is gonna connect inside to Panda or not. Light him up. Yes, there's a damage. He's burning right now. He's on fire. Is he gonna be able to shake it off? No, and that is elimination of F4 right there in a perfect execution style with the molly.
Only a tiny mistake by Sinu, to be fair. Other than that, it was a fantastic engagement by TG. It was aggressive. It was a bit risky, but the right kind of risky. The kind of risky I love to see, that I wanted to see from TG, and they fully deserved that squad wipe onto F4, no less. And they pick up 4 kills for that. They are going to have destroyers around them. I-72 are playing on the coastal line of the military island. I've been a little bit perplexed by I-72's position in this game, because considering they were one of the first teams to rotate onto the island, they are probably one of the worst position teams currently in the game, in this map. And, you know, whether that's lack of experience, a bit of poor decision making, but I-72, considering how well they played on Miramar, I was kind of expecting better from them here, and it just hasn't come to fruition.
Definitely, you're right about that. Staying in the open, even though they were there from such a start time. And, you know, at the moment, while we talk about it, experience versus inexperience, GES is right now on the receiving end of damage from Bablu right now. Javan Wolf sending forward that nade towards Rafe, and Myth is lit up right now. He's going to be looking for that rev. Rafe safe, though, right now. The nade didn't connect, but Bablu sees him, and yes, sir, Rafe goes down now.
Ooh,
Myth
third
party from the other side, and the Bull takes home that kill, steals it over from Bablu. Doesn't want them to have the kill. The Blue is here as well for a little bit more damage, and that's gonna be Bablu Wolf looking to get that car, maybe the buggy, so that he has you know, that movement, the ride. Everybody trying to shift now.
Wow, that circle shift. Okay, at least it is guaranteed to be a military island finish, but that's a good 50% water. That landmass available on phase 5 is phase 6 coming on to phase 7's worth. So the 11 team, 34 players, a lot less landmass availability for them to hold on to. So it's going to create more fights early on the entry point.
Definite no social distancing gonna happen over here. It's gonna be like a nightclub full of people as soon as these guys start to rotate in, which they are. And yeah, like you were saying, 4HL Oni right here from I-72 already in trouble. Look at that. Mahi down. They were in a bad position to begin with, like you said. They should have gone more deeper in, maybe rotate back from the deeper side of military base from in the compounds. You know, but definite trouble for them. Even now as they come in, they're gonna have to take like at least 1 or 2 fights before they can shift in.
Well, one of the other teams that rotated into Military Island early on is VGL.
That's
And look
right.
how well they're positioned in the game. So yeah, the comparison there is it just hasn't been good enough for I-72. Now Team Bablu are going to get gate kept by NES. NES also having to try and deal with Max, but Max do have an overall 2-2 split, so it shouldn't be too hard for them to hold on to, as it is going to be Bablu firing their way, looking for the bullets off. However, NES are dealing with it as strong as they can. But Team Bablu find the time to push in. They find the opportunity to strike. And they're going to come in and they're going to take out NES.
They are gonna take out NES really aggressive right now. They made their way in. They cleared their path to come into the circle because we knew that they were gonna take a fight, which they did. And now they're gonna come back in. For I-72 still looking for that move to come in. Hifzan though has gone into the water from one of from that team right there. And there you go. Bablu takes home that easy kill again. Now trying to point it out towards I-72. They see them come in and they're gonna be able to just block them out of the zone. There's no other place that I-72 can go. They can maybe try to go into the water. I mean, not much, man. I don't think there's much left over there for them.
For sure. Yeah, there's not much for them to hold on to as NWO pick up another kill. The next circle to shift over to the northeast.
Goodness.
There's still a good 40% water in play. The cliff sides of the Military Island are going to be the bittersweet ending of this game. Number 4, VGL have to push into the circle. Team Bablu have to push into the circle. But considering how many kills Team Bablu have so far in this game, 10, I repeat, 10 kills so far. There's no doubt that they're going to push in and look to claim more and put a position them inside the circle for themselves.
This is gonna be an answer back, I believe, from Bablu. That's what they're trying to say. Like, look, you know what? You thought we were out, but we're back in again. This is their rotation. They seem to be rotating proper for themselves. They seem to be making room for themselves wherever they find themselves blocked in. Every time I think that they're gonna have a problem, they seem to make a way from themselves, which seems to be working in their favor. They took out NES to come in. And definitely right now they're just coming to the edge, but MGS can give them some trouble right now, going for the spray, taking that damage, the Bablu giving that damage too as well. They're gonna try Javan on the back end right here. He's got the sniper. Can he do some damage before he comes inside? He's gonna hold off behind his buggy, keeping his car safe as well, just for the last moment rotation, in my opinion, which he's doing now.
Yeah, also there's a time and a place to have a support player like that on the outside of the circle, and this is not the time to pull it off. Bablu need to have all 4 of their players not super close together to the point where a couple of them can get knocked for nades, but at least enough that they can get the counter knocks, that they can get that push should they need to. And that's exactly what's been the case as Juan joins up on the edge of the circle. MGS are not going to make it easy for them, but they're also not going to go out of their way to pick up a fight against Bablu, while MAXD does get a knock into one of the VGL players.
That's right, and taking out the other knock now. This is going to be Recon. He's going to be taken out just like that. Another 4 kills under the belt for Max, if I was to say. And again, no bias, but yes, that is what they're doing right now. They're fighting, trying to stay alive, but Bablu saw them and gave them that damage. And yes, sir, you make the mistake, you get paid, you have to pay for it. And that is exactly what happened, and they were not able to get into the cover from both sides.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and TG were able to take advantage of that one. The next circle centers up. MGS not in the circle now. Team Bablu not in the circle now. TG not in the circle now. The only team that's inside this phase 6 circle is NWO.
NWO seems to be holding off the spot. They got the ridge covers from the side as well. From all sides they're covered. There's nobody behind them. They just need to now be patient and just hold off, I believe, and just take in those kills. Maybe they should take over that shack. I don't know if that's a good option or not, but definitely they got the ridge protection over here. Let's take a look at Ecstasy as Shapater comes in. He's gonna have to give that spray in quick right now. And yes, sir, he's taken down. Shapater is taken down by his own mistake. Jumps off of that buggy quite quick, and he's gone and gets over that kill right there. And that's gonna be Reaper now. He's gonna get in the buggy. Ecstasy definitely has clear sights on him as he comes in. There's no way that he can avoid those bullets, but it's up to Ecstasy now to make sure they hit the right spot.
Did Shabarger actually get knocked down from his own
Yes,
ball?
he fell off the
feels
buggy.
bad, man. Feels bad, man. Hello, darkness, my old friend. As Bablu's gonna come in and call this side of MGS their friend, but not so much of a friend that they're gonna allow them to survive. Two of the players of Team Bablu knocked down, but they do still have two players up. Zebiana gonna use that US to drive in on towards the coastline, but he's going to get taken out, and that is the end of Team Bablu. 3 teams left. MSG holds on to one, and they do have them. Sorry, MGS, should I say, as they do have that shack, that golden shack that Shaparder was looking for, but unfortunately suffered his own death at the hands of a fall from the buggy. But NWO, they're waiting. They still have 3 players up. They have the body advantage. 3v2v1. As the blue zone of phase 7 is going to start closing in the next 30 seconds.
That's right. It's NWO. Seems like that they are a strong contender for the chicken. They got nothing to worry about on their backside. All they got to do is look out towards the front and just make sure that they pick out the people as they come in from the zone. Definitely they are at the corner edge of the zone, and they seem to be the ones that are the most likely to stay in it. But this is the last one anyways. Let's just see which team is going to have the stronger gun power. We've seen a lot of things happen. We've seen the 1v4s, the 1v3s. I've even seen 1v5s happen sometimes. But, it's to be seen what's going to happen over here in this under pressure situation.
Never in the 4 games so far have I thought TG could get this chicken dinner up until now. Yes, they have a tough task because of NWO's position, but the way TG have played so far in this game, which is all I should really be judging them for, they've looked very strong as the circle actually goes in their favor for the first time in this game. NWO have to move away from the comfort of the coastal line of Military Island. They are, of course, going to be very, very aware of what could be happening towards the shack, and indeed Reaper finds the last player of MGS. And now Zigzaw chucking one smoke and another and another and another to try and create the wall of protection. But do they have the wherewithal? Do they have the grenades to push in onto the smokes and take out the players of NWO one by one?
It seems like he's just gonna rain down those nades on this guy. He gave the extra medical kit to his mate because I think he's gonna leave him. And Reaper's gonna go for that one right now. He's got the gun loaded in, the Uzi, the choice of weapon for the close range with 35 bullets. The extended mag is there for the support. And right now,
Duel, why are you going for the heel strat? Duel, why are you going for the heel strat? I just think that was a mistake in strategy, a mistake in teamwork, because you always know when it's 2v3, you have the chance, but you don't have the chance when you're in the blue. You don't really have the chance when you're going for a heel strat. Unfortunately, missed opportunity as Gyro are going to get spot out. Reaper with the first knock in a battle for the final chicken dinner of the day.
It's a 1v1 and he takes it in! TG, the one that you called it, and there you have it, Imperium. TG, the team that you were calling them, and they have come through. They finally stepped up. They heard your analysis. They heard your instructions, my friend, and they came through, but definite.
Wow.
Really, he did a 1v3 just now, It's amazing. A very subtle 1v3, but a definite 1v3. Reaper coming home with those kills, and what an amount of kills they got. Look at that, 13 kill chicken dinner.
There's so much to break down on a side note. So much to break down. TG, straight up, fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic game. The amount of kills they got, the way they played, the way they were a lot more aggressive and controlling, fully deserved. Absolutely fully deserved. Did NWO kind of low-key gift them the chicken dinner? Yeah, they did, because NWO knew in those final circles, despite them not really having the circle. They had the body advantage. What's the worst that could happen, right?
Yeah.
They push in as a trio. One of their players get knocked, they instantly responded. Another player gets knocked, the third player instantly responds. They get the chicken dinner. Or they lose it, at least they go down trying. Whereas what they allowed happen is they allowed for themselves to get picked off one by one by one. But on the side of TG, I have to point it out, you don't go for the heal strat like that when you know that you still have the chance of 2v3. It shouldn't have been put in the hands of Reaper. It shouldn't have. Amazing job by Reaper, but it shouldn't have. That was and I saw on because obviously I have your stream open. I saw that they actively gave he actively gave Abdul the heals.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have. You have to fight as a duo in those moments. You really do. Overall, very well played from TG, very well played from NWO. Unfortunately, a missed opportunity to get the chicken dinner. Bablu standing up and going, yeah, we're still here, guys. You may be evolving around us, but don't forget, we will still not stop claiming the throne in the PUBG Mobile PMDL. And yeah, that's absolutely fantastic game from Team Bablu. I-47, one of the poorest performances I've seen from a team in a game, and I don't say that in a massively negative way. But when you look at how they set themselves up in the military island, when you look at how they position themselves, they went from one part of military island to another. There was no real clear confidence, especially off the back of how well they positioned and played in Miramar. It was like two different teams, and consistency has to follow through.
Yep.
It may be a different map, but consistency still has to be able to follow through. So I-47, look at that, take a step back and go, okay, you know, we need to improve on decision makings and the consistency around that. And I know that they have the potential to push more forward in the future.
Definitely. You know, Bablu, like you said, still holding off. 16 kills they took and ended up at number 4. So they're not giving up the top spot. Obviously, they made the really strong position with those 5 chicken dinners. But, you know, they're still coming consistent with that. Like you said, you know, a lot of things happened. I was really looking forward to a good classic bridge camp, you know, because this circle definitely allows for that to happen. But I didn't see that.
Yeah.
True bridge camp, you know, like the one that nice fight where you break through, the snipers come out, the guns come out, and you go through blazing, you know, it's but what can you do? You can't ask for everything, you know, you get the cake, you gotta clean the plates and whatever the saying goes, you know, you can't have everything. It's never Sunday every day. But definitely the circle shifts were amazing, kept shifting through. You know, NW had a lot of time, like you said, in the start too, when the circle was still on the mainland, so they had a lot of time to rotate in, which they did. They took advantage of that, and definitely a lot of teams took advantage of a lot of opportunity of the circle. One of the things, like you said, the early rotation, the teams definitely should have gone a little bit more deeper into military and then maybe rotate out, because they would be in an open area for them, you know, because nobody's coming in from that side. So.
For sure, and even though, you know, VGL didn't have the best of results, 7th place with 2 points, I do think that their position early on in the game was overall, early to mid parts of the game, was very healthy, to be fair, very healthy indeed, and it's something that they can take as a positive. One thing I have to point out, and, you know, the team that won was the only team that pulled off a rotation. That's all. That's it.
That's it.
Don't underestimate a good rotation, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know, play for the bridges all you want, right? But, you know, and I'm not saying everybody has to rotate, but don't be afraid to pull it off, because the moment that it works out, it's big brain. And the moment that it works out, it is so much safer. It's so much easier. It is so much less hassle. It is time saving overall, because even though it can take longer for you to rotate, if you spend 4 to 5 minutes camping a bridge trying to survive getting across, that's the same thing as going for a rotation and pushing in the circle, only you're using less utility, using less meds, and you're using less ammo. It's just a better peace of mind. So, always think of a rotation.
Definitely, that TG took advantage of, when they came from Primorsk right into the boat. Didn't have to go through any major fights, gave them a chance to keep themselves composed, go for that loot, take their time with it. They knew it. There were no major teams there either until they actually went and took a fight. The first one, they didn't have to engage with anybody. They could have even gone a little bit more further up, and they wouldn't even have to fight till a lot later on. But I think the advantage was that they got some of those kills in, built up that confidence, and were able to do it, man. Imperium, what can I say? This was truly a once in a lifetime, I would say. Well, I don't know how long, what else I can get. But
it'll be more than once, my friend. Don't worry, it'll be more than once.
Definitely, though, somebody like yourself from the international scale coming into our local esports scene and commentating on some of these teams, I'm sure that these teams are feeling really, they should be really happy that somebody like yourself is casting them, and also the analysis that you're giving is just so amazing. Like, honestly, the depth of it, the pointers that you're giving out, even for my own team, MAXD, I definitely think that they all should take it in with a big, with a lot of, importance, to be honest with you, because a lot of these teams are trying to fight their way into the mainstream, right? The PMCOs and all.
For sure. And, from my standpoint, it's a genuinely an honor to be able to cast, as I said, the present and the future of Pakistan PUBG Mobile esports, and to hopefully give not only a little bit of motivation in terms of through my own casting, and also through my presence on social media, etc. I'm not saying I know everything about the game. I don't. I'll always say that to anybody. What I say is my perspective. It does come with a relevant amount of experience, but it's still only my perspective. But if any of these teams, if any player from these teams wants to hit me up on social media and ask for a little bit of advice, I'm more than willing to spend 3-4 hours with any of the teams, go over a couple of VODs, give a little bit of 1v1, one-to-one kind of, I wouldn't say coaching, but just a couple of extra perspectives, a little bit of personal feedback that is outside of casting, because it's so important that we all look to whether it's me who's been lucky to cast international teams on the international tournaments, or whether it's somebody who is like yourself who casts as many teams as I can, that we all look to guide the newer or the upcoming teams, because that will only improve the competitiveness. It'll only encourage the competitiveness, and it'll only be a win for everybody involved, and it'll help make the standard of PUBG Mobile across the world closer, fairer, and better.
That's right, exactly. Though, and like you said, the discussion that I had with you during the break, that look, you know what, they keep playing against the same teams all again and again in the same tournaments, local tournaments. They definitely need that international exposure, the international perspective that you brought. And you know what? Not to big you up so much, but yes, a little. I'm gonna big you up in the fact that your analysis definitely comes in handy. And I honestly think that if anybody doesn't take you up on the opportunity to come and sit down with you for the analysis and a different perspective, is not a true competitive player, to be honest with you, because all of these resources that are coming through via a person like yourself, or a shout out to Asen, he's always there with you on Insta Live trying to promote this thing. Destroyer Esports, he's trying to bring you in and trying to give an opportunity for teams to come into the mainstream. Definitely this is it, guys. You know, this is it. I'm telling you. There's no such thing as a free dinner anywhere in the world. There's no such thing as a free dinner. You got to earn your rights to be called a great team, and you have to prove to that. And for that, you have to use every single resource available. So when teams think that they don't have money, well, you know what, my friend? Not every team started off with money, and not everybody fell into money. You got to take resources. Imperium here has an open policy invitation to all of the Pakistani teams.
Of course.
Come over, contact with him, see how he can help you better yourself, and use that when you go to PMC or when you make it to PMPL against international teams. Imperium, I want to thank you so much. I know we've kept you here for about 2 hours plus, and I appreciate your time, your effort into this, your openness with these guys, and your invitation to the teams. I really, really do. From everybody in Pakistan esports scene right now, the sector. I really hope that this becomes a very normal thing now for you to just keep on coming back. And we're going to try to host you. If this was a physical meeting here, man, I would feed you all the food I can. But, I'm going to raise my glass to that little milkshake that I got during the break. And thank you so much, man. I wish I could offer you that. But there you have it, the mug over there. And this is Imperium with us. And you know what? I want to just a quick shout out for Destroyer Esports, Zahid, who made this happen, invited Imperium, had that vision that, bring it over. Asen for introducing Imperium on the mainstream, for all of the people that are trying. Thank you so much, Imperium. And I look forward to having you back with us again, no matter whether it's with me or with anybody. But just that you're going to be in the local scene will be appreciated. And I'll stay in touch with you. Thank you so much for being with MAXD Esports. And thank you so much. Anything else to say? Imperium, any last words? That's it?
Just thank you. We're all here for the same goal. We're all here to enjoy ourselves and to do what we can to spread positivity and to enjoy PUBG Mobile. So let's do it all together.
Thank you so much, Imperium. All right, guys, so this is it for tonight. You'll have the updated scorecards on Destroyer Esports. I'm going to take the cam off of Imperium so he can relax now. And you know what? Definitely we're going to have him back with us again. And we'll see you guys all the next time with the remaining matches that are going to happen. We'll have the schedule up on Instagram for you guys. But definitely, guys, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.